Hello, everybody. Happy Monday and welcome to sportsbookreview.com. We are talking Champions League first round playoffs. It is heating up. We've got Martin Green, Alex from Need for Tips, and Big Man on campus here to deliver their value plays over Tuesday and Wednesday. What are they going to go for? Let's find out. Guys, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, we've got, Martin, I know you've written the article for us over at sportsbookreview.com. Did you include, and I'm hoping you did, Hoffenheim versus Liverpool? It is a tough match, but nice to see Liverpool here.
I did. I had to, because I think along with Napoli versus Nice, that is the game of the round. That is the really important one that people are going to be looking to. I think they can both deem themselves a little bit unfortunate to have drawn one another, really, considering they're the fourth best team in the Premiership and the Bundesliga. When you've got the likes of, you've got Apoel Nicosia versus Slavia Prague, you would have to imagine that Liverpool and Hoffenheim would beat either of those teams. But it's just the way the draw has fallen, and I think we're lucky to have a couple of really exciting games in prospect.
Yeah.
So sorry, for Liverpool versus Hoffenheim, I have gone for... I think Liverpool attacked with a lot of intent and they played very well going forwards at the weekend against Watford. But defensively, they were terrible and ended up drawing 3-3 with Watford. So I think the bet for me there has to be the Alex Classic, both teams to score in the over 2.5 goals at 2.00. That was the way I played it.
Yeah, I don't know. Did Liverpool's match against Watford fill you with confidence that they can win this or even progress to the next round?
I think they do deserve to be the favourites to qualify, because I believe that Jurgen Klopp knows the German league very well, and I think he'll have a good chance of getting past them over two legs. But I'm not convinced that they're going to win this first leg tie in Germany, which is why I shied away from the outright winners market. And I think I would definitely go for both teams to score. But yeah, to get a bit more value, both teams to score in the over 2.5 goals. I can see one team winning it 2-1 or perhaps a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, okay, but possible Liverpool to qualify. Alex, are you going for your classic in this match? Have you got a bet for this match?
Yeah, but I think that we are on the same side. I can see goals also. Liverpool disappointed with Watford. As I predicted, Watford plus 1.25 was a winner in front of Liverpool. Hoffenheim, a really good team, a really organized team. Their manager is, from my point of view, the youngest manager in Bundesliga is a manager that will arrive far in his career. So I think that both teams have the chance to go further. But Liverpool playing the second leg on their turf, that I think that the advantage is on their side. But yeah, I can see goals. This is what I can see also. Shaky defense, Liverpool, really good attacking firepower. Hoffenheim, they didn't start it yet the league. They are starting it in the weekend. So Liverpool might score, but I think that they will concede also. We've lost you. You're muted.
Yeah, I've got the dogs barking. Squirrels. I'm outside, and they're barking at the squirrels running around. Big Man, any match? It's a big match, possibly the biggest match of Tuesday or of the round. What are you going for?
Yeah, these guys both make very good points. It's hard to feel comfort right now backing Liverpool. But the problem is we all know that they're not good against these lower level teams in the EPL. Obviously, I think their mind might have been on this game in that game. But there is a dire need in the back right now for Liverpool. They're having issues defending. They've had issues defending. We know they're going to be able to attack. They have plenty of quality players, including Roberto Firmino, who used to play at Hoffenheim, scored plenty of goals there. I have to think he's going to want to avenge and score against his old team. I think the quality of player for Liverpool is better. I think at the end of the day, they're going to end up winning this. But they don't offer a lot of confidence backing them to think that they're not going to allow a goal. Natalie, I know you and I last season made good money betting on Hoffenheim, only though at home. We weren't big fans of them on the road, but at home, they were quite the good side to back. For me, I'm going to agree 100% with Martin Green here. The Alex Classic over 2.5 both teams to score at 2.00 seems like a very good bet. we should see both these teams get on the score sheet. I think Liverpool will win this, but it's hard to back them full game right now.
Yeah, especially on the road as well. Maybe a Hoffenheim draw no bet, or again Liverpool to qualify. Would really be nice to see Liverpool qualify. Liverpool qualify is really low, 1.4.
They really lucked out though, getting the second leg in Anfield. That's huge. I mean, especially because Hoffenheim's such a poor road side. Goals look like the market here, Natalie.
Yeah, all right. We're going for goals. And listen, another team that we sort of made money on, I think it was possibly us, Martin, CSKA Moscow. Obviously, they travel to Young Boys, and the odds are neck and neck. Do you have a bet for this match?
I shied away from this one, to be honest, because I think CSKA Moscow are very good on their home turf. Partly because it's such a long way for teams to travel that they really struggle when they get to Moscow. But they're not quite so dynamic on the road. I think they might scrape a draw in this first leg and then go through by winning the second leg. So my bet would be CSKA Moscow to qualify. I think they'll get through. But the odds you can get are slightly below 1.5. I think you can get about 1.44, which didn't really have the value for me, so I'm going to pass on this one.
Yeah, not too exciting. Is anybody playing this match, or is this one to watch?
I will say I don't have a bet on the match. I will say impressive by Young Boys to get the job done. I mean, in that first game against Dynamo Kiev, they did not play well. I know, though, I think Stuart, if I can remember correctly, mentioned that they would play well in the second leg at home. Did a great job. It's going to be a little tougher here. I don't have a bet on the match, but a very good job by Young Boys kind of figure it out after the first leg. Really impressive that they got the job done.
Yeah, absolutely. Young Boys are a really good offensive team when they're playing home, and I think that they will put big issues to CSKA Moscow, at least on their turf, you know. But I think that it will be, let's be clear, because Young Boys have a really good attacking firepower, but in their defense, they are really poor. So they are conceding also. So the best approach, if you're thinking for a straight market here, is both teams to score at 1.7. Incredible.
Okay, Alex, what is your top bet for Tuesday that you're looking at?
For Tuesday, I have them all written. 1 second. I will tell you for Tuesday. Sporting Lisbon versus FCSB from Romania. Yes, FCSB have signed really good players, but the best ones from the Romanian league. But I think that it's enough for them playing in the Europa League, even though they will, even though they will lose this double leg, they will qualify in the groups of Europa League. So Sporting will go further for sure, and they will do it with style, because I'm thinking Sporting will smash FCSB when they will play home. Minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap at 1.89.
All right, nice bet. Good match with value there. Big man Martin, are you looking at that match?
Yeah, I'd go along with Alex on that one. Always bow down to Alex's superior knowledge of the Romanian league. And yeah, I think Sporting Lisbon are a very good side, and they're more of the calibre to be in the Champions League proper than Steaua Bucharest. So that looks a good bet to me. Also on Tuesday, yeah, I think that and the Liverpool game look to be the most exciting ones on Tuesday. I can't see Karabag versus Copenhagen whipping up much interest among the betting public. Ditto Nicosia versus Slavia Prague, unfortunately.
All right, Martin, what would you say is your top tip coming from Tuesday's matches?
Yeah, I'm going to go for the both teams to score in over 2.5 goals in the Hoffenheim versus Liverpool game for Tuesday.
Yeah, definitely with you on that one. Big man, best pick there for Tuesday's match.
Yeah, real quick on one other match, Qarabağ against Copenhagen. Martin mentioned it's going to be quite an interesting game up in Azerbaijan, but Copenhagen struggled in their first match against Skopje, the last round. Yeah, they seem to have trouble going on the road against some of these, farther, they're more superior to these teams, but they're having trouble going on the road and doing that. Qarabağ struggled to score as well recently, and you look in their domestic leagues, they've struggled to score goals. Copenhagen just really I don't know. They just don't seem like much of a team that you can really want to back on the road. It seems like they're going to kind of really struggle in these road matches, especially in Azerbaijan. I kind of like the under 2.5 here. I mean, you look at the first game in that Skopje match. Even I think their last game, they ended up winning 1-0. But I don't know. It just seems like this would be a low-scoring match. But again, it's hard to really kind of. I haven't really seen much of Qarabag over the years. Yeah, for me, I'll agree with Martin. Hoffenheim, Liverpool over 2.5 and both teams to score. It just seems like a 2-1 type of game, 2-2. Really should be. These matches aren't great, but this seems to be one of the better matches of Tuesday for sure.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. I love that bet. Alex, you making it full house, or do you have another top tip for Tuesday's matches?
Now, for me, Sporting minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap remains the top tip, but I really love also Big Man's and Martin's top bets.
All right, moving over to Wednesday's matches. Alex, what matches do you have your eye on?
I have my eye on Başakşehir from Turkey versus Sevilla. Sevilla that haven't started their domestic league yet. Başakşehir played also some playoffs, some qualifiers in Champions League. They were the surprise, the good surprise of the Champions League playoffs till now. Plus, they have a really good experienced team that they can put big problems to a Sevilla side that haven't played a competitive match in this season. So it's Sevilla's season opener. I'm not expecting necessarily a surprise here, but I'm expecting both teams to contribute on the scoreboard at 1.8. For sure, the Turkish side will have the public on it will be like the 12 men on the pitch, their public, the Turkish public, we know that is fanatic. But Sevilla have a really decent squad. They will put some problems also to the Spanish teams when they will start the season. I like the fact that they haven't lost a lot of good players over the summer, but also the transfers. They didn't make a lot of transfers. So I'm going with both teams to score 1.8 is incredible.
All right, there was Alex kicking off there, both teams to score. Celtic versus Astana, big man. Surely you have got a better. You've got your eye on this match.
Oh, of course, definitely. They're getting this game at home here. They were able to dispatch Partick this over the weekend. They didn't cover, though, the 1.5 goals, which is interesting. I definitely do think, Natalie, they had their eye on this game. I want to surprise some people. I took a large future out on, not large, but I got a huge number on Celtic, and I felt it important to bet on that, Natalie. I mean, I've been through this team through thick and thin. I felt like, hey, it's probably a loser, but again, I'll take a shot with my boys. I think I got 500,000 to 1 for them to win the Champions League. But in this game, look, I'm always looking to bet on them at home. You look at over the weekend, Lee Griffiths came on in the 60th minute, helped them kind of finish that one out. He didn't really play much, neither did Stuart Armstrong. A lot of guys really didn't play much. I think at home here, I'm always going to look to bet on them at home. I'm going to lay the goal here at 1.65, I believe it is. Astana is a tough place to go and play. They might have some trouble on the back end, but at worst, this is a push. Again, I don't know a ton about Astana at the end of the day, but Celtic's been a team at home. They've been a really good bet. I don't know. It's just kind of, for me, just kind of continue to go with Celtic, Natalie. They've made me a lot of money, and I'll continue to ride them at home.
Yeah, at home as well, surely the better. If you look at them to qualify with both legs, low 1.36. Does anybody agree with Big Man, or is Big Man betting with his heart at this point?
No.
I don't think you can be accused of betting with your heart when Celtic just keep making everyone money week in, week out. They haven't stopped winning for a long time. I think they can get the job done in this one. They've played Kazakh opposition in this sort of stage of the competition in the last few years, and they've always sort of just about got the job done. They actually played Astana last year at Hampden Park and beat them 2-1. I think they can do it again. I think they've improved since then. Lee Griffiths is in great form, as is Scott Sinclair, and it's just a long way for Astana to have to travel. It's a 4,000-mile trip from Kazakhstan to Glasgow, where they're not going to get a very welcome reception. So yeah, I think Celtic can get the job done too. I can get 1.71 on Celtic -1 Asian handicap, which looks good to me. If you're really looking for a bit more value to push it out, maybe Celtic half-time, full-time at 2.25. But I think it's going to be imperative for Celtic to win this first leg, because they're going to find it a lot tougher out in Kazakhstan for the second one. So
Natalie,
I think they're going to push to get the job done.
To build off what Martin said, I will say this. I mean, they are a team that's just so surely dominated their league year after year. They've had a nice start there, but I think solely their thoughts are on this Champions League. I'm not as high right now in betting them in their domestic league as far as game to game, just because I do think their minds are on these games here. I mean, we saw they usually will kill Partick Thistle 3-4-0. So just going forward with Scotland and Celtic, this is where I want to involve my attention. I think this is where they involve their attention as well.
Celtic's domestic league, compared with the Champions League, we cannot go anywhere with that comparison. For sure that they will qualify further in the group stage. But when you see teams, how much they spent it over the summer break, bringing players for Champions League, and when you can see Celtic not bringing a single player over 20 millions, you will say, okay, they will win again their league, but in Champions League they might exit the group stage, but not more than that.
Okay. What other markets are you looking at there, or matches, shall I say, Martin?
I'm also looking at the Istanbul Başakşehir versus Sevilla game. I've enjoyed the run that Başakşehir have been on so far in this competition, and I'm impressed by the ambition that they've shown this summer. They finished second above Galatasaray and Fenerbahce in the Turkish league last year, and I think they'll give it a really good go against Sevilla. I don't think they'll qualify over 2 legs, but I think in front of their home fans in this first leg, they'll be the fitter and more sharp side, and I think they can get a result. So I'm going for them plus 0.5 Asian handicap at 1.73. That looks a good bet to me. I also like the Celtic Astana game, which I've said. I was looking at the Napoli versus Nice game, and I find it really difficult to get value from that, which is frustrating, because I think Napoli should win. But even if you go Napoli -1 Asian handicap,
I think that Napoli will destroy Nice, because Nice doesn't have players who will score. Balotelli is missing, Cyprien is missing. Who will score for Nice? You know.
Schneider.
I think so. I'm not quite getting the level of value that I would have hoped for out of the Asian handicap. I mean, -1 is barely worth playing.
Exactly.
What about a win to nil? Is would you stick your neck out for that bet, Martin? 2.15 I've got here.
I'd probably actually go for Napoli. I'd probably push it to Napoli -1.5 actually, which you can get at 1.95. I think that looks a good set of odds. I think Dries Mertens is going to be very difficult for the Nice defense to handle.
Perfect Napoli's team, perfect Napoli, because they haven't lost any good player over the summer break. So I think that they will have a really good season also in Serie A.
Yeah, they're looking good. They're looking good. I think they can get the job done and win by. They could win by a couple of goals. Nice have started the season dreadfully in League A. They lost both their opening games to very poor opposition. The slight alarm bell is that they got past a very good Ajax side in the last round. So you can't take it for granted that Napoli are going to win. But yeah, I think they should get the job done. Whether they're going to absolutely blow them away, I'm not 100% convinced by it. But yeah, could probably just about push it to 1.5 on the Asian handicap.
I think that has a lot more to do, Martin, with the fact that against Ajax they had Balotelli in there. I mean, you look at since he's been gone. I mean, they really don't have much option to score. I mean, they lost over the weekend. Again, I might be bad with pronunciation. Trois, I guess it is.
Yeah.
I mean, 2-1. I mean, they're not. Nice is a team that should be able to really get the job done against a team like that. They just don't have many goal scorers. And Alex mentioned Napoli. Really is the team they were last year, which was a pretty good team. I think 1.5 is still fairly good. 3-1, maybe 2-0 here. I mean, Alex, do you really believe that they can score? I mean, win to nil might be worth a look as well.
Yeah, I don't think that Nice can score, but I don't want to go that far. We might see them scoring because Napoli haven't started their domestic league, you know. Maybe their defense is really poor right now. This is the season opener also for them. So a goal might come for Nice, but I think that Napoli will find the back of the net at least 2-3 times.
Okay.
If they concede
what
one,
about
they
a
for sure they will score.
half-time, full-time? Napoli half-time, full-time 1.91. Is that a better direction to go in?
Yeah, let's say that. Yeah.
It
All right.
looks interesting. It's just always a
Bet
risk when it's a
on this
team's
match.
first game of the season. They might not start as brightly as they normally would have if they're lacking that bit of match sharpness at the start of the season.
One is that, and second is that if you follow the trend from last season, Napoli was playing really good in the second half of the games. In the first ones, no, not specifically, but in the second half they were awesome. But another final match that I want to talk about, it's on a. I'm talking about the two-leg match, Hapoel Beersheva from Israel versus Maribor. I'm going with Hapoel Beersheva to qualify from this double leg at 1.63. 1.63 over for the double leg. I think that it has really good value. If you see from the start of the season, I'm going also with some matches also under 1.7. You know.
Okay. All right. Listen, to wrap things up, Alex, best bet there for Wednesday. What are you looking at?
Basak Sekir Sevilla both team to score at 1.8.
All right, Martin Green, what's your best bet Wednesday?
I'm going to have to stick with Celtic. Celtic -1, Asian handicap 1.71.
There we go. And big man, what's yours?
I'm going to go with Celtic -1, and I'm also going to go with Lee Griffiths to score anytime 1.8. Lee Griffiths is on fire right now. When he is in the game, good things happen. Give me Lee Griffiths to score 1.8 anytime and Celtic -1.
All right, there we go. Games kick off tomorrow. Very exciting indeed. Do tune back in. We'll be back. I think it is 4 p.m. Eastern time for the weekly kickoff. We'll be discussing the weekend's action plus some Europa League bets as well. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for joining us, Big Man, Alex, and Martin. Thanks for your tips. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.